So Barbara Van Reed and Christopher Robert talking about the Samuel Slater Experience, the new, I'm not going to call it a museum, it's an experience in Webster, but it is. It's a combination of, it's a museum where you do all of the hands-on and really get that experience. So Barbara and Christopher, why don't you tell the story where this all came about?
My daughter, Suzette Ron, built a restaurant at Indian Ranch, and one day she called me up and said she's going to name the restaurant the Samuel Slater Restaurant. And I said, that's great, but most people in town don't even remember who Samuel Slater was. So I said, I'm going to go work on it. I found out the only evidence of Slater left here besides some old buildings is his grave. He is buried in Webster, Massachusetts. And I decided I wanted to do something about it. So I started looking and reading articles about history and education and all sorts of things. Came to the conclusion that the school systems are having a hard time teaching education to the kids, partially because the kids want to get it on their phone, get it on their computer, but they don't want to read the books. So I decided to do something. I remembered I used to take all my kids to museums and Disney World. And the thing I remembered was the museums were mainly boring, but Disney World stood in their minds, not just the rides. There was educational things. There was a place called the Hall of Presidents. And so I decided to use Disney technology to teach the Samuel Slater story. And that's why I moved from the word museum to experience.
And it really is a Disney-esque experience, the attention to detail. I had the pleasure of going once, and I look forward to going back and spending more time at the Samuel Slater Experience. It's in the old Webster Armory on Ray Street, and not only does it tell the story of Samuel Slater and the American Industrial Revolution, but it's really a history of the town of Webster and the area, Barbara.
Yes, many people have finished their tour and they say, I learned so many things. I had no idea. I didn't even know where the name Webster came from, you know, how it originated, and they live there. But more interestingly, though, is I think what's made me very happy is that people are coming from all over, not just Webster. They've come from Framingham, Shrewsbury, New Hampshire, Connecticut, Rhode Island, just all over. So I think we really hit it in that it's bigger. It's about Slater and the Industrial Revolution and economics and technology. You know, technology, of course, is huge because that's all around you at the experience.
So like a museum, there are artifacts and there are photos on the wall and things that you could read on the wall. But like Disney, it's an experience where you have holograms that are speaking to you. It's a 4D experience because, like you said, you use that Disney technology and the attention to detail where you hear the creaks in the floor, and when you see the water wheel going, or when you're in Samuel Slater's office and you see them speaking to each other, or when you're on that recreation of the ship that he came over from England on, and you're getting a little sea spray on you. And I don't want to spoil any of the secrets, but there's so many of those. The attention to detail is not missed.
That really exceeds expectations. Most people said, I have no idea. It's really hard to explain how great this is.
I mean, you want to undersell and overdeliver with anything in life, right? But I went in with the expectations of, look, this is going to be really cool because I know a lot of money was spent on this, a lot of time and thought was put into this. So I figured this would be really cool. I was blown away. And the downtown, explain the Webster Times print shop and that downtown area with the trolley experience, which I didn't even get to go on yet. I'm going to have to make that on the next experience. That seems like to be a highlight, that whole area of the old Webster downtown.
I think there's an important point to go along with that. And the Webster downtown is there because it was a boom town. And it was a boom town because of all the people that came to Webster to work in Slater Mills. So that it was a process of the Industrial Revolution that created the town.
You know, the town was reconstructed and recreated to be 100 years ago, almost exactly 100 years ago. And so when you go on the trolley, you feel like the trolley's moving and the scenery's going by you and the conductor's telling you the various stops. And the last stop is Beacon Park, which at the time was a playground. People came from New York, Boston, and visited Webster as a destination to go to the lake, to go to the casinos, drink, shop, whatever, you know. And it comes across so realistically that there were some women who had finished the tour and they wanted to go see if they wanted to go to Beacon Park. And so they thought it was still there. And, you know, it's condos. But this was Webster 100 years ago, but it's so real that you actually want to go to Beacon Park. They did anyway.
What is the admission price for families to come to the Samuel Slater Experience on Ray Street in the old Webster Armory?
The adult ticket price is $16. If you're a senior over 60, is $10, and students is $7. Kids under 4 are free.
We have special pricing for the school classes as well. And my goal is to, by the end of 10 years from now, nobody in the state of Massachusetts has graduated from high school without having visited the Samuel Slater Experience.
I went on the website and I'm like, wow, this looks really cool. But when I went in there, I was blown away because pictures and video, in my opinion, don't do it the justice it deserves.
Yes, but that doesn't mean we don't want people to go to the website.
Of
because
course
we want them to go there to buy tickets, right?
Absolutely.
So go there to buy tickets. And if you know, but don't worry about getting tickets online. If you want to make a last minute decision, just come on in. We sell tickets at the door as well. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Google Samuel Slater Experience, check it out, the history of the American Industrial Revolution, and visit the old Webster Armory on Ray Street. And Barbara Van Reed and Christopher Robert, I look forward to seeing more of you at the Samuel Slater Experience and speaking to you more as this continues to develop.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam. We love you.